Happy King Day and welcome back to Becoming the Change, brought to you by Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, where your health is their business, and UW-Madison, All of Us research program at the Center for Community Engagement in Milwaukee. I'm Andrea Williams from Jammin 98.3. The late, great Dr. King was the chief spokesperson for nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement. The campaign for a federal holiday in Dr. King's honor began soon after his assassination in 1968 and was signed into law by President Ronald Reagan in 1983. It was officially observed in all 50 states for the first time in the year 2000. My next guest is Dee McCollum. She's the director of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center, located at 1531 West Bleach Street. How are you, Dee?
I'm doing great. Nice to be talking to you again.
Same here. Happy King Day to you.
Back at you, Andrea.
Thank you. The Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center offers a number of programs and services to area residents. So if you would tell us more about how you serve the public on a daily basis.
Pre-COVID and now even with COVID, we've just opened up, of course, with everything going on. But one of the major things that we're doing is still letting the community know that we are a safe haven. With everything going on, we have to remain that. We do carry his name. It's very important that the community knows that we're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No matter what's going on in the community, the King Center is going to be always there to serve.
Absolutely. So you've always been able to super serve, I like to say, the community on many levels. You have the back to school festival that you've done for many, many years. And so many parents and students depend on that to get the book bags and all the essentials they need to go back to school on the right foot. And as you said, it's a safe place for kids to go after school. And not to mention, you've got a facility where people can work out to health physically fit, right?
Yes. And it's right now, it's very important that they're able to do that because they've been so closed up. I think with us having the attitude that the King Center is a safe haven, knowing what they've went through in the last several months, to be able to come here and exert that energy helps a little better when they go home to their families. So that's one of the things that we're going to continue to do. As you know, we just had the big turkey drive. We gave away 1,500 turkeys, looking for us and what we could do further. We weren't able to have the back to school festival that Beth Cox started, but we're getting ready to do something. Even though the kids are virtual learning, they still need their book bag. So we're still going to make that happen.
I love that. And I'd like for you to talk about what it means for you to help operate a building that not only makes a difference in the community, but as we said earlier, it bears Dr. King's name.
Yeah, it's a passion, Andrea. It has been for all the years that I've been there, because if we're not doing something, the King Center sits right in the inner city. It sits right in the center of where everything takes place, of the major zip codes, 53206, 53205. It's right in that area. And if we don't continue as a community center to give back to the community, to provide the services that we provide through New Concept Self-Development, through our Father's Resource Center, through Summit, our boys educational program, we're failing the community. And right now, in 2020 and 2021, what we can give the community is more important now than it's ever been before, probably in the history of the community center. The fact that we're doing this virtual now, as last year we had hundreds of people in the building that depend on what we provide for them. Let us know how important it is that we continue doing the things that we've done for the last 20, 30 years of the history of the King Center.
Yeah, and we talk about how the pandemic has really forced so many community centers and facilities, businesses, whatever the case, to change how they do things. What are some of the things that you've had to adapt or change with COVID-19?
Because of COVID-19, we weren't able to open for a while. We're still not at a point where we can do rentals for families, which the King Center was massive for the community because it's a low income community. I mean, a low income center, so they could afford to come there. Right now, we just opened up the weight room so they come in now and work out. We haven't opened up the gym yet because we still are under a no contact sport thing. We can't do because of COVID. They have to keep their masks on, but they can come in and talk to the guys. They can come in and vent. They can come in and hit a bag as long as nobody's in the room with them. All the things that they need to do to get that out, I come in my doors. I have it for you. We allow them in there. We have 3 different rooms set up so we can take 6 guys every hour. We allow them to make your appointment. Come on in and get your workout on. You still need to keep their muscles growing.
Absolutely. And like you said, with everything going on with the pandemic, you got to find an outlet to
Yes.
keep moving forward. So it's good to know you guys are able to slowly but surely get back to normal. We all have our fingers crossed that it comes sooner than later. But on a different note, it's been really hard watching all of these images of police brutality over the past year. People having to protest for justice in the middle of a pandemic. And then, of course, there was the violence that recently took place on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. It really, in my opinion, gives us a reminder of the bravery that Dr. King and so many others had during the civil rights movement. And I think that it inspires and motivates us all to keep on keeping on. So talk about what it's been for you to see these images and really put it into perspective and try to continue to make change here in Milwaukee.
What I do is, with everything that's been going on, I do, because I'm at the King Center, I do reflect back to him and what I think that he would do or how he would feel if he was here. I think that if he was here, he would be disappointed.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the fight that he did, the fact that this man gave his life for a better tomorrow for us, and tomorrow is here, and we're still where we were when he was fighting. It disappoints me. The one thing I can say is the King Center is and will always be an open door. It always will be a safe haven for anybody to come through those doors. We focus on the kids that's in the community, which 99% of them are African-American children. They have to have somewhere to come that they know that they are safe from the time they walk in the door until the time they walk out. We're not Washington, D.C. What you saw there is not going to happen in the King Center. We're not on the streets. What you see on the streets is not going to happen at the King Center. So my focus is to keep whatever is going on out there. And when they come into the King Center, that can be where they can release that. My belief, Andrea, is that they don't have somewhere to release it. We're going to have more issues. This is going to be worse than it was in 2020. We haven't seen the worst of it yet.
Yeah.
2021, we're still fighting for the same change that Dr. King was fighting for. And that's depressing.
Yeah, it becomes more and more apparent every single day that the fight continues. Lastly, as we wrap up, Dee, what does Dr. King's dream mean to you?
That if I continue breathing, that if I continue fighting, that if I continue walking forward, maybe one day, just one day, before I leave here, I'll see his dream come to fruition. It hasn't yet. But I pray that before I leave here, I see that change that he had, that dream so many, many years ago. That's my prayer for this country.
And I think we are all saying that same prayer right along with you. Thank you for the hard work that you do. Thank you for your commitment to the community, and happy King Day to you.
And back at you. Thank you so much. And Andrea, thank you for everything that you do. I never miss your show. So appreciate you and all the information that you give to the community. You are awesome for this community. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Dee McCollum is the director of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center. Again, it's located at 1531 West Fleet Street in Milwaukee. Take care. And again, happy King Day.
You too.